she had talked about wanting to create her own personal brand website. And so that was the first thing. That's where the SEO optimization comes in. The second piece of SEO is content. And that's where my sweet spot lies with helping people. What really drives consistent traffic is content that resonates with what people search for. You guys work on a referral system also. For the most part, you guys are always getting referrals, but every once in a while, referrals can get a little slow. And like that ongoing marketing piece sometimes gets left to the side because you're just so focused on client work and that type of
Yeah.
stuff. This essentially is like having an available salesperson available 24/7 on the internet. People are typing in things like how to get a mortgage or mortgage broker near me or that type of thing. We want to show up for that to get more leads. I was looking at different content ideas with referrals. If people are on their second purchase of a home, then they probably are already familiar with you. I thought, you know what, a better target might be first time home buyers
Okay.
because those are the ones that are really researching. So this is a tool that I use to create content. There's a couple of different ways that people search for content. There's local, which is probably pretty relevant here. Depending on where her license is, we could add those states into the search terms. When people are searching for local, it'd be nice if she showed up. What we want to do is we want to meet the customer on their journey before or at the point that they need you. That's the role of content because it's okay if you can provide relevant information that is of benefit to dream clients, then they're more likely to stay in your ecosystem and buy from you.
Okay.
These are just some like topic ideas for what people are searching for. And when you think about this whole term, NC, first time home buyer, what this tool does is it shows you all of the articles that you need to have, and they all need to be separate because it's like a algorithm based thing. Articles that you need to have so that you can create what's called a knowledge graph, which just shows Google that you are an authority on this topic. There are 101 clusters in this particular keyword topic. What we would do is we would just identify maybe the top 10 and then reassess and say, okay, do we want to target another keyword or do we want to continue writing on these topics? There's these other pieces of information here that are also helpful and relevant. MSV means monthly search volume, and that's just what it sounds like. The number of times a particular search term is searched on Google. And the KD stands for keyword difficulty. Ideally, especially with a new website, the closer to one that it is, the better. Keyword difficulty can range from 1 to 10. A keyword difficulty of 6 with 3,000 monthly searches, that's really great. This is South Carolina, so this is probably one we would ignore. But this one right here, like an article on down payment assistance in North Carolina, that's got a search volume of almost 3,000 and keyword difficulty of 6. So what that just means is that's a easier keyword to rank for. And again, if somebody is a first time home buyer in North Carolina, these are the types of things that they're looking at.
Okay.
And so, as much as we can create around these topics, that would be great. Now,
Okay.
the next thing, because everybody always wants to go straight to social media, right? So, once we have what I like to call our content clusters, what we want to be known for, we then take that information and create your social media strategy. Let's just say you wanted to post 5 days a week on social media. You want to increase the know, like, trust factor for your personal brand. We need to create posts that give us a chance to get to know her and then like authoritative posts that build trust because essentially that's what all this content does. It's authority building for potential clients and then also for Google. If you're answering the questions that people have online, Google's, oh, we want to give people the answer the fastest. This person is answering their questions. We're going to send people to this website. So it's always important to start with the website because you don't own social media. Have you ever known anybody that got kicked off of Instagram or Facebook or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. For that reason, you don't want to build your house on somebody else's land. You want to make sure that the hub of everything is her website, and then the social media just supports what you're already doing on the website. So what I suggest is like a no post every week, a like post every week, a trust post every week, a behind the scenes post every week, and then a reel or something like that.
Okay.
If, like, say we're using Instagram. So the great thing about social media is that you can just take slices of these different articles and create graphics for them. Every Monday, you're talking about down payment assistance. Say we take the top 5 articles that we want to focus on right now. We create graphics around down payment assistance. We create around first time homebuyer North Carolina. We do something with the experience that she's had, the awards that she's won, that type of thing that builds trust.
Okay.
And then a behind the scenes, which is something at your office, like showing you guys working, showing her getting into her car, showing her working with a realtor or on the phone or at the computer. And this is where I would recommend that you have what's called a brand photo shoot. Have you ever heard of that? Okay. The brand photo shoot is just fancy pictures of you doing your job. Social media is such a strange mix of like polished and real life. It's like people want to see like what's happening in your real life, but at the same time, if they're going to spend thousands of dollars with you, they also need to know that you're a professional. On those days that you posted something expert wise to build authority, that could be a more professional photo versus a more casual photo. And that way, hey, these tips and tricks coming from the person that you'd be dealing with. This is the company you'd be dealing with, pictures of you, all of those things help people like before they get to know you. So when you get on the phone, it's like a continued conversation versus an introduction.
Okay.
This is my Instagram profile. This
Mhm.
one's a brand photo. I just had a photographer take a picture of me outside
Okay.
looking at nothing. This is a brand photo. This is a brand photo. This is a brand photo. They don't have to be super different. This is somebody that I would model Jen's account after. She's in a different niche, but she's very popular. It's one of those things where it's okay, if you can take something that's working for somebody else, especially in another niche, and that would be great. So you can see like this is behind the scenes with her
Mhm.
team. This is the reel. Everybody knows her dog. Here's another reel or video or something.
Mhm.
And selfies are always good. This is a brand photo type image. This is a really cute photo, but that's a brand photo, her with the dog. So this is definitely something I would model after.
Okay.
Clips do really well, pulling things out of the content that we create and then posting them here.
Okay.
So once you've identified like the number one social media channel that you're going to use, which I would recommend Instagram, depending on like your level of comfort in creating stuff,
Mhm.
then you need to think about content distribution. And the easiest way to do that is by using a scheduling tool of some
Okay.
kind. Are you familiar with any social media content? Okay. I'm happy to consult on that and like really get you started
Mhm.
because once you get started and you have a framework of it, it's so much easier. That way it's not, oh my gosh, I didn't post today. It's you already know what you're going to post today.
Yeah.
So it's planned. Everybody's on the same page. The content's already created.
Mhm.
So anyway, there's content distribution tools like Planoly.
Okay.
And the good thing about Planoly is you can post to Instagram. I think you can post to Facebook and you can also post to Pinterest, which is another animal that we'll talk about at the very end. And so Planoly is one option. What I recommend is something called Smarter Queue. Smarter Queue is what I use for my business. You create a posting plan. You create categories. So, like I said, the know, like, trust, behind the scenes, quotes, or whatever categories you want to post. And if you have more than 5 categories, that's absolutely fine. You create your categories, then you drag the category into the calendar. Then, when you actually create a post, let's say I want to create that post for and get to know me or whatever, I can choose all of these social profiles. And then I have my text here. I can upload an image. Let's just say I want to use this one. I can upload this image and it's going to post it on each of these platforms, LinkedIn.
And it
My
gives you a preview too.
you can see
Right.
how it's going to be cropped and all that type of stuff. And if it's really bad, you're like, okay, I don't want to use that photo because it doesn't crop
Okay.
right on Instagram. Instagrams are square versus rectangle.
Yeah.
Like this one would be cut off and look weird. You see how it adds it to every single one of these.
Yeah.
Twitter, everything. And so this is what makes it faster. And a lot of people are like, should you post duplicate content across different platforms? Most people aren't going to remember that you posted this exact thing. Nobody's going, oh, I saw her post that on Monday on Instagram and now it's Facebook. I see it again on Thursday. You know what I mean? Nobody does this. Nobody cares about our content
No.
the way that we care about our content. But the other side of it is like when you see a commercial on TV, you don't just see it one time.
Yeah.
You see it multiple times because they want to reinforce their messaging, right? So that's why scheduling tools can be so powerful because it allows you to choose the message that you want to convey. And if the message that we want to convey is that she's the best loan officer for first time homebuyers in North Carolina, then we want to consistently convey that across all
Okay.
platforms. And that's why if you can do one platform, you can do all of them.
Okay.
Because of a tool like this. I don't mean to overwhelm you, but
Oh
the
no.
fact of the matter is if you can do one, you can do
Yeah.
all of them.
Especially with this tool.
Yeah. And I'm an affiliate of this. So I'll give you a link if you guys decide to use it, because then I get like a small commission from it or whatever. So these are the tools that I use. All right. So that's content distribution. The next level up from that is then the good thing about Pinterest, even though it's like a completely different animal, it's a search engine. It's like Google, and there's lots of room to be found here. Okay. So again, this is my Pinterest account. And depending on what you decided you wanted to be known for, like what main keywords,
Okay.
you put those keywords right here. And then you write a description that continues to infuse keywords. And I'm not like shy about it. I'm like, look, I want to be found for volleyball senior night gifts, soccer senior night posters, dorm room ideas, whatever. Some people call that keyword stuffing, but it's not keyword stuffing if it's relevant to your client. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But ideally, you'd write this in a paragraph format that was more of like a conversational type style.
Yeah.
You can schedule pins over here. So another great thing here is if you can create Instagram reels, which I recommend you do one of those a week, then you repurpose it over here and post it on Pinterest. That's the gist of how Pinterest works. Look at this one's got like 13,000,
Yeah.
2,000, 3,000. These constantly show up. So it's not like Instagram stories where they disappear after a while. People can
Okay.
still find them. So that's about it. Website, content clusters, the content that's going to drive the relevant traffic for her to get leads and close from. That's what I would start with first, choosing which ones really make sense to focus on and then create a content calendar for that for social media. Then we want to distribute that content and then ideally repurpose it over on Pinterest. What's on Pinterest can be found on Google. If somebody's looking for what she does, what are they searching for? That's good to know because you could do a lot of local SEO on her website. The goal would be to show up as either one of these top results here or in here. So
Yeah.
those are really search intent specific. Those people are looking for a mortgage.
Okay.
So those just some ideas. You just want to identify what are the top things you want to be found for. And if you need help with that, I can totally help you. That's then what we create the content on. And that's then what we would make the foundation for your social media presence for.
Thank you. I really enjoyed the meeting. There was a lot of information.
WordPress, again, I can help set that up and
Okay.
I can help do any part of this that needs that infrastructure.
Hmm.
And then I can show you how to maintain it. You guys would either have to write or hire a content writer, but
Okay.
I write content website. And it's so much more of an efficient way
Hmm.
to get leads than social media. Even though social media is way more sexy and it's way more like fun and it gives you that dopamine hit. Oh, somebody liked it. But likes don't equal leads or sales. But it is good to have a presence that supports what you're doing on your website so
Okay.
that when people find you, they find the same you everywhere.